The diversity visa program, that's the program the New York City terrorist suspect used to enter the United States from Uzbekistan. More than 1 million people also have used it. Here to discuss with me now, Ford O'Connell, Civic Forum PAC chairman and a Washington Examiner contributor. Also back with us, Peter Brookes. Ford, let me start with you. The idea of this lottery has gotten, has piqued a lot of interest in a lot of people because, first of all, most people didn't realize we had it. And now people are wondering why and starting to understand the abuses of it.
Well, to your point, this was a program that was passed by Congress in 1990 and signed by a Republican president. But here's what happened. The world has changed in the 2013 Gang of Eight bill. Essentially, they wanted to quash this program. Look, the entire world has changed. President Trump is absolutely right. Our immigration laws are a joke, and they make us vulnerable to attacks like this.
Yeah, I mean, the Gang of Eight wanted to squash it. We have Representative Goodlatte who tried to squash it in 2007, 2009. Peter, and I know that the radicalization part of this, homegrown part of this, has obviously played a major role as well. But again, when you start to talk about someone coming into the country, perhaps under suspicious circumstances, and then able to bring others, in this case, apparently the suspect was associated with or related to another 23 immigrants. Again, that starts to say, hey, is this a Trojan horse program?
Yeah, we need to be careful, and I'm all for Congress taking a look at this and making sure it supports our national interests. But you know what? And the good news is that we're actually taking ISIS apart, Charles. Most people don't realize this. I mean, we've taken back Raqqa, we've taken back Mosul. You know, in 2014, we had 2 terrorist plots in the United States. ISIS was on the rise. The following year, we had 17. It dropped to 14 in 2016, and this year, and I think a lot of credit is not being given to the Trump administration as it should be, we've only had 5. Now, obviously, any terrorist attack or plot is a potential tragedy or is a tragedy, but we're making progress.
Right.
But, Peter, what I was going to say, though, is that this is really to be looked at like a loophole. Chain migration allows American citizens and permanent residents to bring in people beyond the non-nuclear family. And those are people that could conceivably be more susceptible to this. Saipov came from Uzbekistan. Let's be honest. Radical Islamic terror knows places beyond the Middle East, and including Central Asia. And if it's true that he could bring in 23 other people along with him, that is something that we need to be looking at. And therefore, you have to understand it's not just a diversity visa program. It's a diversity visa program working in conjunction with chain migration, which is why Trump is saying we need a merit-based system.
By the way, gentlemen, just so the audience knows, some of the ideas President Trump has already thrown out for the merit-based system. A candidate would get 30 points. It would involve age, education, English ability, a job offer, special circumstances like Nobel Prizes or Olympics, whether they were investors in this country, and there were also specific things with regard to spouses and others. So it sounds like a system that where we bring in people who embrace this nation immediately and bring certain skills and wouldn't be a burden on the American taxpayer. Thank you both very much. We're running pretty quickly here.
Thank you, Charles.
We'll get back to this terror, to the terror in New York City. There are a lot of signs now, of course, in retrospect, that it could have been prevented. We always see these signs and it frustrates us. And the big question always gets back to, is it finally time to drop political correctness? We're going to dig into that next.